Hello everybody, I hope everyone is staying safe right now. Hopefully after today I'll give you some information to make sure you stay even more safe in this situation. I think we can all agree the most important safety tip that any of us can learn right now is what to do if you encounter a bear. I have a friend that went to the University of Montana after high school. Last spring I went up there to visit him and I met a bunch of guys on his floor, and they told me a story about one of them that was casually just Montanian ice fishing one day and saw a grizzly bear approaching him on the river. So he dropped on the ground by the frozen river, and the grizzly bear ran up to his body and sniffed him down and then just kind of walked away. But he said it was the most frightening thing he's ever experienced. And that story inspired me to do a bunch of research on my own to find out what I could do if I was in a situation like that where I encountered a bear. So first let's talk about what to do if you are just hiking or camping or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're just going out to find some bears. What you can do to avoid even seeing a bear. So first of all, what you want to make sure you're doing, especially if you're hiking, is to make a lot of noise while you're hiking. Maybe you're going with friends and just talking loudly with them can help, or clapping like that every few yards or every so often is really helpful to notify the bears around where you are so they don't get really spooked and try to come eat you and kill you. If you're camping, another great thing you can do is make sure that you're on top of your food storage situation. What you want to do is you take your food and you buy some bear canisters, bear food containers, and you put your food in that, and it's like a bear-proof, it's like a safe that the bears can never open. And you put it like away from your camp so the bears smell your food but they don't come near you, and they can't get into it either and try to kill you after you find them. Another thing for walking along the woods in bear country is you want to know what kind of bears that you're around. So it's important to know what type of bear country you're in. There's black bears, which are the most common type of bears, and they are found as far south as central Mexico of North America and as far north as Alaska and Canada. So they kind of stretch the whole area. I live in Georgia, and we find them here, and we can find them in South Carolina as well. Grizzly bears, on the other hand, are going to be native to up north of North America in Alaska and Canada, but also some of the states just south of the Canadian border. And polar bears can be found in North Alaska and very North Canada. But yeah, walking along trails in bear country, you want to make sure you make a lot of noise. They sell bear bells, but bear bells aren't very effective because they're just not. One thing you can always do that I've heard to tell the difference between grizzly bear poop and black bear poop is that grizzly bear poop has bells in it because they eat people. Even though they have bells, they don't care. But that's enough of that. What about if you actually encounter a bear? Well, that's going to depend again on what kind of bear you're dealing with. If you encounter a black bear, it's going to be different than if you encounter a grizzly bear. If you encounter a black bear, the first thing you want to do is get really big and tall and appear like a threat to them. You can do this by putting your arms up in the air and screaming at them, calling them bad words and stuff. Is really helpful. You can also buy bear spray, but I'm just going to assume you don't have bear spray because I don't have bear spray and I didn't even know what that was. But yeah, the next thing, if being big and scary doesn't work, if they're not afraid of you, the next thing that they're going to do is try to attack you. And for that, what you want to do is just basically fight the bear back. You want to be really mean and brutal to them. There's lots of different ways to fight them. You can choose, whatever fighting style you're familiar with. For me personally, my fighting style, if I encounter a bear, basically I get up and I look the bear in the face and I punch him in the nose like that, like over and over again, like that. And maybe I kick him in the face and yeah, I just get him out of there. Basically, I just fight him like that. So maybe that was helpful. For grizzly bears, on the other hand, what you're going to want to do is very, very different. You don't want to appear like you're a threat to the bear. What you want to do is, if you see the bear, at first you want to be very, very calm and speak very calmly and slowly try to back away. If that doesn't work and the grizzly bear charges you, you basically want to do what my friend's friend did in Montana, of lay down on the ground and hope that the bear just lets you live. You just play dead, basically. There's not a lot you can do, but that's the most effective method. Bears don't really want to eat you if you're just dead, I guess. Also, if you encounter a polar bear, basically you're just going to die either way, so don't worry, just try not to do that with those. So, in conclusion, basically the best thing to do is to practice proper planning ahead of time. Make sure you know what kind of bear country you're going to be in if you're hiking or camping, and make sure you have food storage containers, and make sure you're with other people that you can make noise with to make sure you don't have to fight the bears. But also you should be prepared for the worst case scenario. Maybe you need to go practice like push-ups or some kind of like taekwondo class or something to make sure you can fight the bear to death if that needs to happen. And also respect the fact that bears are really dope animals. They're just really scary sometimes and not to be messed around with. But I hope this was very useful for you and you found some information from this. And I wish you guys all the best.